When you are.
Go Falcons! No, excuse me.
Go.
Good morning. Welcome to the United States Sports Academy, beautiful campus in Daphne, Alabama. My name's Dr. Brett Simmelmacher. I'm going to be your host, sitting in for Dr. Butler this morning. To my left, your right, is Dr. Cromartie, our Director of Doctoral Studies. And to my right, your left, is Mr. Ben Billman, soon to be doctor, which is one of our teaching assistants. Today we're going to, let's give an update first of all on the UConn women. They're at number 95. They won the other day. Their next best competition is supposed to be South Carolina, but they lost the other night. I saw on
Yeah, but that still don't mean it won't be a good game.
Right.
It'll be a competitive game.
It'll be a competitive game.
Coach Staley will get them put back into shape and get them going.
Yeah, I agree. But that's, they're saying, and I don't know if that's their last game of the year.
It's 5 games away, but I don't know how many games after.
And that would be their 100th win if they beat South Carolina.
Yeah.
But they're saying that they have the best chance of the
South Carolina has the best chance, but see, remember, it goes back to the streak. They had a previous streak of 91. They lost. As soon as they lose this one, somebody is eventually going to beat them.
Sure.
They'll start a new streak. That's what coach does.
Sure. Secondly, today is National Signing Day for college football. We all have our thoughts on that.
Yeah, National Useless
As
Day.
far as the hoopla that goes around all that and all the television time that it takes up, but Sarah does have some of the updated
Rankings.
I
guess,
who signed with who, which me being an Ohio State fan, I couldn't tell you who their signings are.
Because most of the, let's be honest here, this whole focus when you talk about National High School Signing Day, the focus is on 3-star and up, 3,
Right.
4, and 5. What most people don't understand is that there are kids right now that are 2-star, and say for instance they're a punter or a long snapper or whatever. The fact of the matter is they don't get the luxury of sitting down in front of that camera and saying, I'm choosing Alabama, I'm choosing Auburn, I'm choosing Ohio State, Wisconsin, Cal, Stanford, all the stuff. They don't get to partake in that because the system doesn't provide them that opportunity. They're only focused on the high-profile 3, 4, 5-star kids, and that's what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talk about high school National Signing Day and that, it's not just football. What about the young ladies that are signing to go play volleyball and softball and whatever sports they're going to play? They don't get to sit down and pull that hat up and say, well, I choose, University of Florida in gymnastics. They don't get to do that.
Well,
so my thing is, if you're going to have this pageantry, have it for everybody. Give everybody that access to that pipeline, which is the television.
But you know what the answer is going to be from the powers to be.
Yeah, they don't want it.
It's all about who brings the money to the school.
Yeah.
And
But anyway, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother show.
ESPN goes right along with them because they feed the fire, ESPN,
Sure.
because of
That's
the way
because
they rank
that's their
it.
bread and butter. Because remember, for every last one of those that they put on to show that they're going to X number school, they got to have sponsors, and those sponsors foot the bill. So that's why they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Sarah, with the rankings.
Well, right now, just quickly, Alabama has the top class, followed by Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, LSU, Florida State, Oklahoma, USC, Clemson, and Stanford. That's the top 10.
Well,
No surprise.
Auburn's at 11.
I did read
Yeah.
that if Orgeron stays at number 5, he will be on top of the list ahead of Urban Meyer and I believe Saban, as far as the where he's ranked in his first recruiting class when they were a first-year coach.
Okay, it still means nothing.
It
means
means
nothing.
absolutely nothing. They still got to go out on the field and play next fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is weird because ESPN's top 300, their number 1 was Trey Smith, and he chose Tennessee.
Yeah. I don't understand how they do those rankings either, but obviously more people are going to sign with Alabama. And, it doesn't matter if it's the number one of the top 300. If they get
But again,
10 in the top 300,
if
that's
you-
probably
if
how
you-
they do it.
Yeah.
if you are classified by Alabama out of the 3s, 4s, and basically 4s and 5s, they're not looking at you.
Yeah,
They don't want nothing to do with you
that's
because
true.
you can't help them.
Well, and there's-
Well,
go
Yeah,
ahead.
though that's why a lot of these other kids that you mentioned earlier are still trying to find a spot to get to because they don't have that same notoriety.
Yeah, and then the kids that are punters, kickers, long snappers, all that good
Mhm.
stuff, if they really want to go to Alabama or Auburn or any of those schools, they're walking on.
Mm-hmm.
They're walking on. And in some cases, those kids have already got it cleared up. Hey, coach, I'm going to commit there. I'm going to walk on. And the coach is telling them, okay, yeah, walk on, we'll give you a shot. But otherwise, they don't have a shot. So that's why they go elsewhere.
But our topic this week is the upcoming Super Bowl coming up this weekend.
You got your recipes?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. We're talking about the game, not the food. I'm sorry.
Anyway, last year we saw in Super Bowl number 50, we saw Denver beat Carolina 24-10. Peyton Manning's last season, he was named the MVP of the game.
Should have been Von Miller.
It should have
Yes.
been Von Miller.
Yes.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
That
Last
was a
year,
courtesy MVP.
Yeah.
last year everybody thought the offense with Cam Newton and how
Mhm.
well they were doing all season was just going to,
And Luke Kuechly
Yeah.
defensively,
Right,
They would
you know.
just, yeah,
and then Denver's defense just stepped up to the plate.
absolutely.
Yeah, but Denver's defense not only stepped up to the plate, they stepped up to the plate early.
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking within the first 2 minutes of the game, boom, Newton gets hit by Von Miller,
Yeah.
ball gets,
Yeah.
stripped from him, and they score.
yeah.
That was the mandate, that was the dictate, and the overall complexion of the game changed at that moment in time.
And what happened
And
the
they
year
were back.
early in the game?
Well, when Peyton
Oh.
Manning, the ball went
Yeah,
over
it
his
went over his head.
I mean,
Yeah.
that set the
Safety.
tone, and what
It
happened
did.
there? They,
Well,
they
the
got
Seahawks
whipped.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the kinds of things, they bring you down a notch,
Yep.
and it's hard to recover, and let's just hope this year there's nothing dramatic like that.
Mhm.
Let's let both teams go out there and play up to their absolute very best, and may the best team win, because ultimately I think it's going to come down, and I don't have a dog in the fight, I could care less one way or the other, but it's going to come down to receivers right now, and both teams have good receivers, but I'm talking those intangible type of guys that
Mhm.
can go up and just pull it out of the air
Mhm.
when it's necessary, and move the ball down the field and that. And Atlanta has 2, possibly 3, and I say possibly 3 because in the playoffs you've seen 3 wide receivers for the Atlanta Falcons just absolutely play out of their minds. The ball's gotten to them. They've been able to do some things with it, and they look phenomenal. And let's go. Let's give hats off to Julio Jones, local guy. That's the only reason I'm throwing him out there. He's a local kid,
Yeah,
Eastern Shore, baby.
yeah.
And if you look at it, the New England Patriots have been in 9 total Super
Yeah.
Bowls, 7 with Coach Belichick and Tom Brady.
Mhm.
They set the record as a player and coaches to play 7 Super Bowls.
Coach will have them ready.
Right.
He'll have them ready.
And with what you're saying with the receivers and Atlanta's offense is ranked number 2
Yep.
in the NFL. New England's defense is ranked number 1. So
Yeah, but number 1 overall. That mean, what's that saying?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
We can throw the offense, we
Last
can throw
year,
the defense,
Denver's
all that
defense-
out the window. The bottom line is this is the game you got to get out there and shine.
Yeah.
If Matty Ice Ryan gets out there and plays like he's been playing and throwing the ball all over the field, they're going to be tough to beat.
But let's talk
If
about
Tom
that.
Brady gets out there and he's able to pick Edelman and Hogan and a couple of and Blunt's able to run the ball, they are going to put Atlanta on their heels. And like I said, it's really going to boil down to, I think, a few of those players that have to be contended with, because once you go out there and double team Julio, you got Sununu, and you got the Griffith kid, and the running back has been phenomenal too. So I think the Falcons right now have some upside, and they have some intangibles that have to be dealt with. But it's whether or not they're going to be in a position to execute. So,
Well, I think the Falcons, since the game is indoors in a
Mhm.
dome, I think that's advantage Matt Ryan. I really do. When he plays at home in Atlanta, in their dome, he's almost unstoppable. And so I think that translates well for him. The thing with Brady is he's been playing with a chip on his shoulder all year. And I think in the back of his mind, he wants to get the trophy from Roger Goodell because of what happened the first 4 games of the season. And I think that's going to play a big part in how Brady steps in right from the start. Like you said, the start of the game is so important. And I think Brady knows that. And he's going to get off to a great start, I think, in this game.
One of the key factors, I think, with New England's defense being the number 1 ranked team in the NFL right now, Atlanta's is ranked number 27,
Mm-hmm.
and their top 2 tacklers are rookies.
yeah, but they've been playing pretty well in
I
the playoffs.
understand that. I understand that, but you know as well, when you're playing in a high-profile game
Mhm.
such as the Super Bowl, do you feel like the pressure could get to some of these guys?
Absolutely.
I mean, Matty Ice. Let's talk
Now,
about
see,
him.
I
You don't think that's gonna
honestly-
come into play?
I honestly don't think so. I think once you get to this game, you're ready to play. The only thing that's going to preclude you from being at the top of your game is if you go out and do something stupid prior to the game. You know, you go and party and do all that idiotic stuff. But I think these guys are focused. I think you got Matty and Julio, and even on the other side, New England side, you've got Brady, you've got probably Blunt or some other guys that step up and say, "Look, guys, this is what you've worked your whole entire lives for. Now let's just focus on it. Let's get through Super Bowl week. Let's get through Super Bowl Sunday. Play the game, and then you can do all the other garbage you want to afterwards. Come win or win or lose them."
Do you think that's advantage New England or advantage Atlanta with that aspect?
I think it's advantage New England because they've been here so many times. Tom Brady, I mean, he could script all his answers for media day because he's done it so many times. And but I
Well,
think
let's
that
not go there with media day because he avoided a few questions.
he did. But I think what's going to be interesting, we've seen it in recent years with Malcolm Butler a few years ago with the Patriots, Tyree from the Giants. There's going to be a guy that comes out of nowhere that maybe no one's talking about right now that's going to make a key play or a couple key plays and become a phenomenon in the league overnight.
Well, the wide receiver Hogan.
It
There's
could be-
no
it
way
could
that he's
be-
not on the radar right
it could
now.
be
The
Hogan.
Steelers overlooked him.
But there's going to be
My gosh,
somebody.
the guy played lacrosse.
Yeah, there's going to be somebody that comes out of nowhere that no one mentions that's going to make a key play. It could be either team, but I think the advantage is with the Patriots because they have so much experience. These guys are ready. You know, they've been here so many times, and Brady's got. I mean, he's got 5 or 6 receivers he can throw to on any play. He's got Blunt and Lewis out of the backfield who are both playing phenomenal. I think the Patriots and their defense, it's going to be very hard to beat the Patriots in this game, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, I think when you put it on the field, the X's and O's, the players are going to execute. They're going to do what they have to do. It's going upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
That offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator on both sides will be tested, and they better be ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's gonna show really in terms of the readiness. Now the key to it is Mr. Shanahan ready and already gone to the 49ers? No, I don't really think so because I think he really wants to win,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got the nucleus there
Yeah.
to win.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to put every effort forward to call the plays that will put the Patriots on their heels.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa, the Patriots are going to do the same thing. But it's going to be who's able to catch them. And again, I go with the wide receivers for the Falcons because they're big.
Yeah.
They're big and they're tough. Malcolm Butler, if we recall, when he knocked that pass down with Seattle, that was a small wide receiver they went to.
Yeah.
He's not going to run through Julio Jones.
Yeah.
He's not going to run through Sununu. I just don't see that. But it's still going to be a competitive situation, and you are going to have the best on the best,
Mhm.
and they just go out there and do what they got to do.
Well, with all that being said, you know, with the offenses and how powerful they are,
Mm-hmm.
there's some records that could be broken in this
Mhm.
particular Super Bowl, and they've listed some of those records. Most total points could be in
Yeah.
jeopardy, 75 points.
Yeah.
You know,
I could see that going.
49-26 in 1994. The 49ers over the Chargers. That's the most points scored ever in a Super Bowl. Most points by a single team, 55. Could we see somebody score? I mean, if the offenses do what they're capable of doing, it could be a track meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really could be. And see, we're losing sight also of the intangibles, special team play.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's going to be big.
Mhm. Most points by a losing team is 31. And there were two teams, Cowboys versus the Steelers. Steelers scored 31 points in that loss, and then the 49ers, and that was in 78. And then 2012, the Ravens scored 31 when they were beaten by the 49ers. Most total yards could be in jeopardy, 929. I mean, Matty Ice has thrown for almost 5,000 yards this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he might throw for 1,000 yards in one game.
Well, and look at it. I mean, Jones, again, I go back to him, 180 yards,
Yeah.
a couple of touchdowns. I mean, the guy, and he's hurt. And he's hurt.
An interesting stat that I saw on Julio Jones, he's made 83 receptions. 27 of those receptions are 20-plus yards.
20 plus yards, yep. And then what do they call it? Yards after the
Yards after catch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah. Well, that's because of his physicality.
Exactly.
You know.
And but all of a sudden we get to the Super Bowl and he's not going to be physical anymore. He's not going to have that intangible.
Well, he does have that.
He's got
He has had that turf toe,
Yeah.
but he's had 2 weeks.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
And
He'll be fine.
if
Yeah,
he gets turf toe
but-
again there, he ain't coming out of the game.
But
I tell you.
he did outrun. He did outrun 2 defensive backs.
Not only did he outrun him, he stiff armed the heck out of him.
Yeah, that is for sure. Okay, I could go over several other things that they're talking about, and they're more offensive stats than anything else. With all that's been said, I mean, with Atlanta only being in 2 Super Bowls, so much on the line for Belichick and Brady. If they win, there's so many intangibles on both sides.
Exactly, but you said a key statement there. Atlanta only being in 2 Super Bowls. Remember, you still have 13 teams that are NFL teams that have never been to the
Mhm.
Super
That's
Bowl.
right. It's a
It's a
Anytime.
hard place to get.
That's why when you're talking with coaches and we won last night by 2. Hey, a win is a win.
Win is a
Yeah.
win.
It doesn't, getting to the Super Bowl is getting to the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Getting to a state championship is getting to a state championship.
Yeah.
Those kind of things.
Well, who do you like?
That's who I'm going to ask you. Who do you like?
You know what? Like I said, I really don't care one way or the other. I want good food, and I'm going to make me some good food and eat off all game. But I'm still going with wide receivers. I think Atlanta's got the advantage in terms of wide receivers, and I see them stepping up and being major contributors and factors to them winning.
Every Super Bowl that the Patriots have been in during the Belichick-Brady era has been really close. I think a lot of people forget that early on, it took some Vinatieri field goals to
Yeah.
win. It took a Malcolm Butler interception on one of the
the
last
goal line.
plays of the game. All the games have been really close, but they've pulled most of them out. Other than the 2 against the Giants, the Giants are their Achilles heel. I think they win this game, and I think it's going to be a field goal at the end. I think they win 42-39 over the Falcons.
And I have to agree. I just think with all the experience that the New England coaching staff and their leader Tom Brady has, I just think it could be a track meet. I think it's going to be a close game,
Mhm.
but you never know in these types of games.
I think Matt Ryan's going to keep it close. I think Julio Jones.
Oh, I do too.
They need to target him at least 15 times in this game.
And I would not be surprised if Atlanta won.
Yeah,
Yeah, but again, you got two other wide receivers that have been significant
yeah,
during the course of the year. And the only reason I'm going with them again is I don't see New England where they have that defensive back structure
yeah.
in place that is going to be able to contend. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, fine. That's no big deal because, again, it's not one of the teams I'm pulling for.
Yeah.
But I still think that it goes down to the physicality of your wide receivers, and they've got it.
They do.
Who do you like?
I want to say the New England, but I think Atlanta.
You think Atlanta?
I think it's
Okay.
their turn.
Close game? No.
Are you pulling a Lee Corso where you got the helm? You know,
No.
The headgear.
The head
Yeah.
No. Well, that's it for today. This
Senior
week,
Bowl
later
wrap
on,
up.
Yeah, there will be a wrap up on the Senior Bowl where
The South one.
the South won. They beat the North 17.
16-15.
16-15.
And
Sarah was
missed the
at the
2-point
game.
conversion.
Dr. Butler was at the game. They got some footage from that. We also got some footage from media night. I think it was Wednesday night, wasn't it? Over at the convention center over in
Gulf
museum or something.
Maritime Museum.
Yeah, Maritime Museum. And anyway, she'll have that up on our website here pretty quickly in the next couple days. And then next week, I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but we'll be back here on the beautiful campus of United States Sports Academy here in Daphne, Alabama. Thank you and have a great week in
Could be
sports.
Gonzaga still number one.
Could be.
Yeah.
All right.